Today's goal is that we bring information to life. Right? So you can be like Dr. Frankenstein and bring something to life. Your chapters. To use details to bring my topic to life. So there's a story Miss B and I read about a famous author. He was working with these teachers, and all the teachers submitted some work to this famous author, and the author said, "Your writing is trash." Actually, what he meant was that their writing was like trash because it had been compacted, right, so tightly that all the detail in life had been squeezed out. Let me show you what I mean. So this is called a baler, right? When I used to work at a place and do this. I used to work at Toys R Us. You know Toys R Us? I worked there when I was like 15. But they're back to life. Jeffrey lives. Ooh. You don't know Jeffrey the giraffe? He's alive. So let's watch what happens to the trash here, or to the cardboard. Just watch what happens. See, the cardboard goes in there. We close it up. Turn on the machine, it gets smushed down, right? And then we tie it up, smush it even more. Use these ties to keep it like that. Boom. There we go. So the trash, right, is compacted. So when that famous author said, "Your writing is like trash," he means it is smashed down so much it's lost all the detail in life. Right? But what he said was that in a book, we don't have to get our information across in the fewest words possible. For example, you guys, right? You're great at conveying lots of information in just a few words or a few symbols, right? Like, what's this mean? What's it mean? When would you say that? You know, when something's funny, right? You don't have to say that was funny. You can just write that, right? If I tell Miss June, I'm like, if I send a message, "Oh, dinner was delicious," she writes this. Right? This carries lots of meaning, right? And it's a lot of meaning compacted into this little sign, right? But you're writing a book, right? You're writing a book. You don't need to squeeze all this information into a small space. You have room to write. So what we need to do is use lots of detail, right? So we're going to bring our trash back to life with detail. So let's try it. This is a newspaper editor that said, "Don't come back without the name of the dog." So there's this story about the dog. I don't know the story, but the editor says, "Don't come back without the name of the dog." It means the details of what are important. So when I looked at your paragraphs, your essays yesterday, okay, a lot of it looked like this. Okay? So this is your information. These are the kinds of things you wrote down in your notes. I'll read it to you. There are several reasons why girls are denied an education. Sometimes girls don't go to school because of poverty. In other places, because of police in the community. When girls are denied education because of poverty, families want all their children to attend school. but they can't afford to purchase books or school fees for the whole family. In some communities around the world, people don't believe that education is a right for everyone. Okay? Sounds pretty normal. A lot of your chapters look like this. Dead. Right? We need to zap them back to life. So let's see how it's done. Watch this. I'm going to show you a new version of this, and I want you to tell me what's changed. Evidence. What happened? Not evidence. What is it? What's different? Anecdote. You see an anecdote there? That's more of a story, right? An anecdote is your experience. Yeah, so here, according to the United Nations, more than 34 million teenage girls around the world do not attend school. Right? That is a statistic, right, from a reliable source. Right? So that addition right there in the first paragraph makes the paragraph more interesting. It brings it to life. In paragraph 2, we have reasons why girls are denied education. Okay? We talk about a group that helps girls in this situation. Okay? This is a group that helps girls around the world to attend school. Here's some more information, further explanation from a group that focuses on girls' education. In the third paragraph, more explanation. Say some people don't believe it's a right for everyone. Well, this tells us what they believe a girl's right is. Okay? They may believe that a girl's place is in the home, helping her mother take care of the family, and therefore keep girls at home, believing schools won't help a girl take care of the family. So it's an explanation. Okay? But these are the kinds of things that bring the paragraph to life. You ready to try it? So I've got a student sample here. I'm going to show you a student sample, and I want you to turn and talk with a partner and find a place where you could add something that would bring it to life. Okay? Here it is. Can everyone see it? Can you read it from where you are? No? Stray animals. Well, let me read it for you once, okay? Stray animals. An animal that doesn't have a home are found all over the world. They could be found in parking lots, dumpsters, streets, and even neighborhoods. That is what an animal shelter, a place where stray animals are taken for being reclaimed or adopted, is for. Every state in the USA has a couple of animal shelters and possibly more. My county even has an animal shelter that is right across from school. When a stray animal is found, they're usually brought to an animal shelter. Just like the two puppies, Jeffrey and Jermaine. Two dogs that were lost, young, and inseparable. One was blind, but they helped each. They found an animal shelter in Pennsylvania, where Mr. Rigo's from. They are now in safe homes. So this is a student work, right? Now it's your job to help them. What can they add to this piece here? What can they add to bring it to life? That's your task. You got 1 minute to solve. There's a list of things that can be added. Be prepared to explain. All right, great job. I heard a lot of good things as soon as I asked you to start talking. You wants to share? You have several good ones. Share one. What could you add?
So,
Help out this student. This is Brandon, by the way. Brandon. That's the student's name, Brandon.
so the part that there are thousands or lots of animals that doesn't have a role, we can add some statics. Like how many are exactly there, and
No, we'll just stop there. Excellent. So what Albert said is that where it says there are many, so there are many found around the world. So a statistic that tells us exactly how many would be helpful here, right? To really show that it's a problem. Okay, and we can do that with the number of animals, number of animal shelters in a state or a country, or the number of abandoned pets in a state or country. And so some statistics on the number of shelters, number of pets, number of animals on the street. Good. How about somebody from over here? Over here first. Lauren, Gina, you want to share? Not sure? Chloe?
The part where we also talk about the two puppies.
Yes.
Why we were heard to use more description and stories to make it more interesting to the readers.
That's right. So Jeffrey and Jermaine, the reader, we don't know who they are. So we need more information there. We need to know, tell us that story. Right? Who's Jeffrey? Who's Jermaine? Who found them? That would bring this chapter to life. Right? That story. Maybe there's even dialogue between the people at the shelter and the person who found the dogs. This is something that we could really jump into, and it would help us keep the reader involved. Ethan, you got one more you want to add?
I think the author can explain a little more about the dogs Jeffrey and Jeremy. So I feel that it's like it was to it wasn't a story.
Right, so the same thing. Okay. So one assumption that we can make is that our reader is new to the topic. Okay, so it's good practice to read through what you're writing, pretending that you know nothing about the topic. Right, and ask yourself, if I sent this to my cousin, who's in 6th grade in Seoul or wherever, would they understand it all with no background knowledge about this topic? And if the answer is no, then you need to add stuff to make it understandable. So here, adding information about Jeffrey and Jermaine will really bring this section to life. Okay? And remember, if we're writing this about abandoned animals, and we tell this story about Jeffrey and Jermaine, and we got pictures, that's going to help our readers, or that's going to help us convince our readers to actually do something about the problem. Right? So, this is your job today. Okay, you've got a lot of stuff in your notebooks. Pick a section and bring it to life. Okay, so focus on one section and go through. What can I do? Ask yourself, what can I do to really bring this to life? You've got a list of things up there. You've got exemplars that you can look at. You have this one you can think about. Okay, and I'll be around the conference with 7 of them. Okay, so work hard. You've got about 30 minutes.